Welcome to my YouTube channel today. What's up with the dress code? All right. In my cloud, every day now, photos are popping up of on this day. And so a few years ago, I've been there twice. I've gone to Sturgis for the motorcycle rally. So this motorcycle rally is probably like in 2 or 3 weeks, usually at the end of August. So I got my Sturgis cap on, and I got my favorite Sturgis shirt. Now I got a couple, but this one's my favorite to the point. I don't know if you can see it here clearly, but I just love this shirt. It's even got two little holes in the front, but I love the shirt. What am I going to tell you? And riding out to Sturgis, it was just beautiful. Riding cross country twice from Miami, cutting through Texas, Colorado, visiting Wyoming, Devil's Tower. It was just an awesome, awesome experience. So, for those of you that are going out to Sturgis soon, as always, ride carefully. Man, please don't drink and ride. And be careful riding at night. You'd be freaked out how an I 70, is it I 70 or I 75? I think it's I 70. It's 8 o'clock at night and there's deer all along the highway. I mean, I saw that endless times, even through a horrible hailstorm cutting through Nebraska on the way back. So be careful. All right. Now, let's get back to business here. Today, what am I going to talk about? Student loans and the issue of co-signing. Now, this is an issue, and there's really no other way of phrasing this. Uh, Things have changed financially over the years for everybody. And, we have, two people now usually producing income, and it's still not enough. But, inflation's gone up. Wages have never caught up to inflation. That's just a fact. And so we have this term that was coined years ago. I forgot the name of the professor. I'm sorry. But the graying of bankruptcy, because now we're seeing more of these silver-haired people filing for bankruptcy. And so it's not just student loans, it's just everything in general. Again, the cost of living goes up. We're outliving our savings. And so all this just creates a whole set of problems and messes. But what about when it comes to signing student loans, whether you're a grandparent or a parent, your child or grandchild? How are we going to handle this? Well, I hope you don't do it. That's really my answer from the perspective of a bankruptcy lawyer. The fact is, this could affect your credit. You went from, let's say, minimal credit card debt, $4 or $5,000, and all of a sudden, by the end of the semester, a year later, you owe 20,000, and then the next year you owe 45, and they just keep going down the list. That's going to affect your credit report. It's going to be there. The higher your debt, the lower your credit score, and even worse, the harder it's going to be to try to get credit at that point. So think about it. If you wanted to go buy an RV and travel life in a camper like I do, and all of a sudden you owe $150,000, might be a little more difficult to get that camper, second home, new car, whatever it might be. It could be a lot more difficult. And the reason is, as a co-signer, you are liable for that debt just as much as your son or daughter or grandchild. And so the issue is, what happens if your grandchildren or your son or daughter cannot pay for that loan? They're going to sue both of you. And so then you two are going to have to work it out. Remember, wiping out, student loans in bankruptcy has gotten easier under the Biden administration, much easier, but it's still not easy. It's not like a guarantee like with credit cards. We could just walk in and do this with no problem. So you got to keep in mind that you're liable. And I've used the term morbid before. I want to say it again. Something happens to that family member of yours, whether it's a disability or a death. Again, I use the term, there is no empathy or sympathy with creditors and trustees. They're going to come after you. They don't really care why that debt isn't paid. They just know that you signed on a dotted line. And dotted line, remember we used to, when that actually existed? Um, and you're going to be liable, and all of a sudden you're facing a lawsuit for $150,000. The problem with this term here, the graying of bankruptcy, is also the reality is you probably have more assets now, more savings, your IRA, your pension, all these other things that you've accumulated over your lifetime. And so that makes bankruptcy even more complicated. Now you know why creditors and student loan lenders want parents and grandparents to sign off on it, because your child who just graduated 6 months ago has no assets, but mom and dad do. And so that's the issue. And that's why all of a sudden they started saying, we need cosigners. I went to school, no one co-signed my loans, everything seemed okay. So why the difference? Because again, they know the older generation has assets, and now you understand the term of graying in bankruptcy. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. My advice is don't co-sign anything unless it's your partner. But the student loans, that could be a disaster. Now, if any college university is trying to get access to buy my bankruptcy textbook in bulk, you'll have the link in the description where you can get it straight from Routledge Publishing. And if you're a paralegal student taking bankruptcy courses and they're using my textbook, you can of course get my textbook with any major retailer, including Amazon, and I'll post that link in the bottom as well. Whether it's a paralegal student, a college or university, or just a parent or grandparent thinking about co-signing on a student loan, any questions or comments, please post them in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to reply. Unless I'm out in Sturgis. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna be there. I wish. There's one thing I would love to do, and I never got to do it so far. Is I want to camp at Custer State Park, because I remember I saw a few buffalo. I don't know, maybe 10 of them, just walking through an area where all the campers were, and I have this great photo of a lady who opened it, and she didn't realize that there was a bison right there, and she freaked out. Caught that on camera, so it was pretty cool. But I have been posting, like I said, the photos on social media. So come find me on social media, and you can see some of the photos I've been posting about Sturgis and my couple motorcycle trips out there. All right. Take care, everyone. And to you riders and you motorcycle riders and bikers, please be careful. Take care of yourselves.